Hello everybody, Sam Goodman, founder and consultant of the Hop Nerd LLC. We're continuing on our multi-part series exploring the basics of human and organizational performance. Let's dive right in. So you've been doing things a bit differently for a while. You've been viewing things in your organization through that lens of the 5 HOP principles for more than a hop minute. You've been doing learning teams and micro-experimenting and telling that story really, really well. Now you're ready to take HOP to scale within your organization. To begin, we have to approach HOP differently because it's different. As we've mentioned in previous videos in this series, you can't approach it like just another program to be rolled out, like we've approached so many other things in the world of safety and improvement and quality and on. So, what do? What's next? We explore this topic in detail in my latest book, 10 Ideas to Make Safety Suck Less. It's available on Amazon and Audible, narrated by yours truly if you want to pick that up. We also have a ton of free downloadable guides around this exact subject, the embedding of human and organizational performance, over at thehopnerd.com under the resources tab. And we have a ton of stuff in the blog as well. But I'm going to share with you some of the key ideas, some of the key kind of steps, if you will, on starting with HOP and taking it to scale. I want to start with a few planning considerations before you even start to plot out your journey around human and organizational performance. And it is a journey, so prepare for that. It's going to be a slow and hopefully steady marathon as you go through this process. The first one being organizational readiness. You need to seek to understand the current state of your organization. That's going to inform your journey. That's going to give you that starting point that you need to begin to take these ideas to scale throughout your organization. The next being is core team creation, building your little HOP army. You can't do this alone. Even in the smallest of companies, you can't do this alone. There are HOP folks out there in your organization right now that speak HOP. They're talking the ideas that you're talking. They might not recognize that it's HOP. They might not recognize that it's safety differently, but they're kind of there already. Embrace those folks. Wrap your arms around them. Get them involved in this process. Pull them into your little HOP army and give those folks enough time and resources to affect meaningful change within your organization. Time, resources, access to folks that they need to spend time with, bandwidth to go out and actually do the work of bringing HOP to life. The last planning consideration that I want you to really think about is employee involvement. How are you going to put those nearest to the work? How are you going to put their hand on the wheel of this change? How are you going to involve them? How are you going to make sure that their voice shines through in the end product? Now, as we start to plot our journey and we start thinking about embedding HOP within our organizations, I want you to understand that you need a plan. Right? You need a plan, but that plan doesn't need to be so rigid. So often in these other ways that we brought stuff about within our work worlds, we start with these rigid plans, these rigid timelines, and we check the boxes and say, okay, we're done. You need more of a recipe than a strategic plan, right? You need to make sure that you have the right ingredients present, that you're bringing those ingredients together at the right times to make sure that you're getting the result that you're looking for. So you need a bit of a recipe. It needs to be fluid. You need to make adjustments on the fly. Sometimes you're going to push some stuff out. Sometimes you're going to bring some stuff in, but you need that recipe to make sure that you get yourself in the area that you're looking to go. Just with any other recipe, you don't want to be going for a moist and delicious chocolate cake with covered in icing and end up with a tart. Nobody wants a tart. So you need a flexible recipe, and you need to be listening and learning your way through so you can better tweak that recipe on the fly. A few key areas that you need to consider as you're going along is number one is leadership interest. How are you going to build that leadership interest? How are you going to grow leadership commitment to this kind of new way of thinking, of doing things a bit differently? The next being what we often call HOP fluency. How are you going to build that deep understanding of human and organizational performance throughout your organization? Now, this is a place where a lot of companies tend to stumble a bit. They try to do HOP like they do safety, where they do it down through their organization. I get so many calls, emails, texts, DMs, asking me to come in and teach frontline employees how to do HOP. That's not quite how this works. It goes the other direction. How are you going to build this fluency within your frontline leaders and up? You can do that with HOP fundamentals, with workshops. You can do that through conversations and coaching, but you want to make sure that you keep this message alive and that you keep these principles at the heart of everything that you're doing. Another vital piece, which is extremely important, obviously, is operational learning, the use of things like learning teams. Now, I'm going to tell you to take this and put it back at the beginning, if at all possible. Get operational learning up and functioning as quickly as you can. These things like learning teams and learning explorations, they're going to inform your journey. Back to that recipe, they're going to help you craft a better chocolate pie. They're going to help keep you on the path that you're trying to stay on. Get operational learning up and functioning, and get it up and functioning fast, functioning at a high level, and keep it going. Now, at a certain point in your journey, all of your efforts are going to outgrow where your organization systems have been. You're going to have different beliefs and different ideas that have expanded well beyond what your processes and policies and procedures typically say. As you mature, you have to start to bring those policies and procedures and approaches into line with all of this new thinking, these new and better assumptions that you've created within your organization. You have to go through the process of decluttering. You have to go through the process of turning pages and looking through and making sure what fits and what doesn't. This isn't for us anymore. We're getting rid of this. This is great, and we're going to align it more towards HOP. That's just part of the process. You have to start building HOP in to all of these processes, into your procedures, into your rules, into your approaches. You have to bake HOP in to your organization. Because when it's all said and done, we kind of want to get right back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this video. We don't really want to have to call it anything other than that's just the way we do business. Now, you eventually also get to the point to where you're learning so much, especially around safeguards and life-saving controls. You want to use all of this new information, all of this better information to redesign systems for the better, to create error tolerance in your systems, to grow that margin, to grow that capacity, to build and better pre-existing and build and better new life-saving controls and safeguards to make sure that work can go well even when work goes wrong. The easiest way to get started with HOP, the easiest way to get human and organizational performance to go to scale is to spend your time learning about normal work. Spend your time focused on growing operational learning within your organization. It will help you start your journey, and it will inform your journey along the way, allowing you to begin and go farther on your human and organizational performance journey. If you need a little bit of help bringing HOP to life, if you want to take your efforts around learning and improving to the next level, get in touch, thehopnerd@gmail.com, or head over to the website, www.thehopnerd.com. I look forward to hearing all of your stories about how you bring HOP to life within your organizations.